Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here with the MNT Cup Series live from Phoenix Raceway. As these drivers get done their practice session, qualifying is about to be in the air. Drivers are about to get ready to rock and roll. They'll get ready to try to set the quick time here in qualifying in just a few more moments. Welcome into the MNT Cup Series live from Phoenix Raceway. Drivers get loaded into the sim and ready to roll. Qualifying is now underway. So drivers jumping out onto the racetrack here as qualifying just getting started here from Phoenix. As see Keith Fonseca, he's jumping out onto the racetrack. The Twisted T number 61 ride ready to rock and roll. Joey Lamb out there in the 81, the Mud Duck Racing Sweet Victory Apparel ride, looking pretty strong. I do apologize, I am sick. I have had a cold for the last couple days. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the bird flu or what, but we got something. Something has unfortunately caught us. A little bit of a head and chest cold and sore throat, mucus, all the fun stuff. You never want to see that, especially in summertime. We never want to see it, especially in summertime. We want to be nice and healthy. Hopefully this can pass in a quick hurry. We're feeling better today than what we were yesterday, so that is good news as all these drivers jumping out onto the speedway here for qualifying. A beautiful number 57 ride there. That's another Mud Duck Racing, the Julius 8 Speed Shop ride. That's AJ Cruz looking for a big run here in this one. Todd Merkel out there in the 2 ride. Pretty quick first lap here. He's up into position number 2 in that 2 ride, but see if he can get a little quicker here on lap number 2 on the speedway for the number 2 machine. Doesn't find any more speed, so unfortunately that first lap will be it for the number 2 ride here, as he'll be currently in the 5th position. He can move up and down here quite a bit over the next couple minutes as drivers jumping out onto the speedway, getting their laps in. You see Clay Cantrell up inside the top 5 now. Brock Page jumping up into 2nd. Christian Angel currently quickest here in qualifying. Hunter Kent up into position number 3. Dale Miller up into position number 4 here for the 8 ride. Things moving around. Drivers trying to get the best laps they can. Kevin Haas up into 16th. Fred Anderson in the 94. He's top 20th. Steve Tucker jumps into 11th here in that number 1 ride. That Harpoon number 1 machine looking strong here as well. We'll see if he can get a little bit quicker on lap number 2. It does look like he has slowed the pace up and going to get onto the binders there. So looks like 12th position is where Steve Tucker will start this race from. Frank Peacock out there on the speedway, the body armor number 12 ride, looking for a good run, as we do see at Jackson Glenn Austin jumping up into 3rd here. Jeremy Paris up into 4th. Daryl Young Jr., he's going to jump inside the top 10. The 71 ride up into 7th. Frank Peacock now up into 9th. Joshua Yarborough up into 13th. Mike Peters there in 14th. So more drivers to jump out here. Mark Martino out there onto the track as well. The GameStop and Camaro looking for a good lap is Caleb Ramsey. The boy Caleb coming in showing the love with the heart reaction. Says, let's go! Let's go, Caleb. Let's go, Mr. Ramsey. Joey Lamb coming in with the like on the stream, as well as make sure everything is good to go, making sure everything is perfect here. Looks like everything's working good over on Facebook and YouTube, as BMRL Network says, let's go, Chris Mayo. Chris Mayo in the field here as well. Chris currently 23rd here on the speed chart. So not an awful starting spot, about mid-pack, a little bit towards the rear of the field, but lots of time, lots of laps to be able to work yourself up and through the field and towards the front of the pack here for Chris Mayo, or the 75 ride of Mike Martino, the 3rd. We still have Bradley Kane waiting to qualify here. Derek Cat right there in that 33rd spot, so not the qualifying lap that Derek Cat was hoping for here, as Get all these drivers ready to rock and roll. Get all these drivers ready to get settled in as Mud Duck Racing coming in with the like and the share. Craig Michael Deacon, my boy Craig, coming in with that thumbs up on the broadcast as well. How are you, Mud Duck? How are you, Craig? Coming in, showing the love. I do apologize again. I am sick. I do have a cold. We're going to power through it. We're going to make sure we can still put on the best show possible for you guys. Even if I'm dying up here in the booth, we'll make sure you guys never miss any of the action here on PeaceMaker Gaming. As so far, it's been pretty good. These guys have been looking very, very fast. I watched a bit of the practice. They look pretty clean. They look pretty mean. They looked pretty fast out there on the racetrack. And it's going to be interesting to see how drivers are going to be able to handle this hot, slick racing surface. Now there'll be more door-to-door here. 2 wide, 3 wide, 4 wide through the corners around this beautiful Phoenix Raceway. As qualifying has concluded, our race will get underway. Christian Angel will lead us down to the green flag. So Angel will start in that top spot as we have 115 laps of racing action here from the beautiful Phoenix Raceway here on the evening. So that's a lot of laps, a lot of time to either find trouble, to avoid trouble, to work yourself from the back of the pack to the front of the field here. So it could come down to strategy. It could come down to just being patient, making sure you hit your marks, not putting yourself into those tough situations, avoiding any of the big wrecks, avoiding any of the big issues that may come up. You don't want to have speeding penalties down pit road. You don't want to be down there for extended periods of time. You want to make sure you can hit your marks all around the speedway and make sure that you can put yourself in a position late in this race for possibly a checkered flag. As we'll get these drivers rolling down from pit road in just a few more seconds. Starting on the pole is that number 60 ride. It is the 60 machine of Christian Angel. To his outside in the 36, it is Brock Page. Starting in position number 3 in the tracker boats number 19, it's Jackson Glenn Austin. To his outside in the 50 ride, it's Jeremy Paris. And bringing up our top 5, the 54 ride, that is Hunter Kent. To his outside in the 95 ride, it is the Canes number 95 of Mike Peters. Going to start there in position number 6. And then we see the 8 ride of Dale Miller going to be starting in position number 7. To his outside in the 71, that is Darrell Young Jr. Starting inside a row number 5, the 61 ride, that is Heath Fonseca. Into his outside, rounding out our top 10, is the body armor number 12 of Frank Peachock. Starting in the 11th position on the speedway, it is the 88 of Clay Cantrell. To his outside, the Majula 6 Speed Shop Mud Duck Racing number 81, it's Joey Lamb there in 12th. Todd Merkel, Joshua Yarborough, Steve Tucker, Lucas Longmire, Kerry Klein, Kenny Reel, Justin Hurst, Kevin Haas, our top 20, as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation. As quickly spread out 2-3 wide, a big run here from Jackson Glenn Austin, quickly trying to put himself to the front of the field, down through quarter 1 and out at quarter number 2. The 19 ride from 3rd to 1st in the first set of quarters is a little bit of contact with the outside wall for the 60 ride, as we do see our first caution flag of the day fly. So the first yellow flag is going to be displayed here down through corner 1 and 2. It looks like Dale Miller getting a piece of this one, as action at the front of the field, a little action throughout the field here as the 8 ride gets a little contact, goes for a spin right there, trying to hang on to it. Steve Tucker just barely able to avoid him there, so a good piece of driving by him. And the Cherry Wine, or the Sure Wine number 8 ride gets rocking and rolling. Doesn't look like too much damage there for him. We did see Scott McKinney and Kevin Haas run into issues here. Not sure who that was sliding down the racetrack there, as we do see, well, I do believe that was Kevin Haas, unfortunately, there. Going for a bit of a wild ride right there. Nowhere to go for the snap-on 33 as Scott McKinney is. He's just trying to get down into quarter number 1 here. Well, we'll take a look and see from Kevin Haas's perspective here on what happened. I'm not sure if he just had some contact there to his back bumper from the 99 ride. Just looks like he loses it going through some of the bumps there, through the trioval, through that dog leg, and unfortunately isn't locked up. That car watches up the racetrack right back over the field here, and a lot of drivers getting damaged here in this one. It's tough break, and a tough way to start this race, not only for the 3 ride, but for a lot of these other competitors that just had nowhere to go here. These drivers run in there, the 33, tons of damage onto his ride. We see the 37 getting a bunch of damage. That's Hunter Cole. The 70 ride also getting collected there. That's Curtis Miller. So a lot of drivers getting early contact. See the 91 ride, the WBD diecast ride there of Wesley Donaldson getting some pretty good front end damage as well. So some tore up race cars to start this race, but out in front, taking the lead, an aggressive move on the start of the afternoon. It is Jackson Glenn Austin who's going to lead our first few laps here, as out in front, it is Brendan Burnett coming in, showing the love here, as this Mike Peters got shotgunned all the Mountain Dew, red, white, and blue. He's bricked up and ready to rock. Oh gosh. Frank Ranger says, what's up, Peace? What's up, Frank? How are you, Frank? Frank coming in, showing the love, as well as Mellow M Fly 32 says muted. Who's muted? Because I know I'm not muted. I see my voice moving. I can see all of my, everything moving here. So definitely not muted. You might be muted, bot, but okay. As we'll get ready to rock and roll here for our first restart of the evening. It's out in front, Jackson Glenn Austin. A 3-name is just driving me wild. He's got 3 first names. It's a wild name right there. Jackson Glenn Austin out in front, leading the way. Gets a good restart. Here comes Brock Page looking to make that aggressive move down on the inside as he cuts the dog leg down into corner number 1, and nice and easy out at corner number 2 is the 60 ride. Our pole sitter Christian Angel trying to hold on to that top spot, but it looks like we are going to go right back to the caution flag here. More contact deeper in the field, and it looks like Caleb Ramsey, Kevin Haas possibly running into issues here. We'll take a look back and see what happens. Is a quick couple caution flags, and unfortunately some tore up race cars is right out of the get-go here. On the restart, just looks like the 5, and ooh, a heavy hit there for the 5 ride of Caleb Ramsey. Heavy contact. Absolutely destroyed that Mud Duck Racing Sweet Victory Apparel Majula Say Speed Shop number 5 machine, as Ramsey really just hanging on for it to really go right there, as he's just trying to hang on to it, keep this car out of trouble. A little deeper in the field is see the contact back on the bottom side here. The 91 ride hard into the back end of the 25, and I think that just kind of gets the 25 ride a little bent out of shape. The 5 ride expecting to have some room there down to his inside, and they just run out of room. They make some contact, and unfortunately hard up into that outside fence for that number 5 ride. Kevin Haas nowhere to go. He's going to get some contact into that one, as the 99 ride also having some issues here. There's Sean Wilder having issues in front of him, so we'll take a look and see what happens to Sean Wilder. I'm not sure if Wilder just looks like he loses the rear end here. Very tough racetrack, hot, slick, and unfortunately going from that transition from the racetrack to the dog leg, a lot of times we'll catch drivers kind of just loose, and they can lose the rear end in a quick hurry, and unfortunately happens there for the 99 ride, as we will get them all ready to roll here once again. So far, easy work, a couple good starts for the 19 ride of Jackson Glenn Austin, and he's able to keep himself out in front, keeping himself at the front of the field as get these drivers ready to roll once again. We'll get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing in just a few more moments. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you're just tuning in, make sure you hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button, as Frank Ranger coming in with the like on the stream as well. Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful day, Frank, coming in showing the love here in this one. It's a wonderful Friday night to be at the racetrack. Couldn't think of anything better to do, nothing better to be spending your time on a Friday than watching some racing, whether it's NASCAR racing, dirt track racing. Racing is racing. You can throw two turtles onto a drag strip and I'd watch it. Because, hey, racing's always fun to do, especially on a Friday night. You can kind of sit back, relax, knowing you got a couple days off coming up the weekends here. You can chillax, relax, and enjoy some amazing content as we'll get ready to set these drivers back loose. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a few more moments as Jackson Glenn Austin out in front leading the way. Brock Page there in second. Christian Angel in third with Hunter Kent there in fourth. And we see the 50 ride of Jeremy Paris, Daryl Young Jr., Mike Peters, Frank Pichuk, Clay Cantrell, Heath Fonseca, our top 10 here on the Speedway as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to roll here. And Jackson Glenn Austin keep himself out in front, keep all these other drivers back there at bay. There's somebody find a way here on this restart to get around him. Do we see the 60 ride of Christian Angel maybe making the same move we saw the 19 ride make off our initial green flag on the evening? Will he try to take him 3 wide down through the dog leg to see if he can put himself into the race lead through corners 1 and 2? Or can Jackson Glenn Austin get another powerful restart here to hold off the field, maybe get some good green flag laps and open up a little bit of a gap between himself and the rest of the field? A good restart down through the Geico restart zone. The 19 ride is, he gets up through the gears, there's more contact, hard up into the wall. It's another Mud Duck Racing ride. Heavy hit right there. I do believe that was Joey Lamb going for a wild ride down in the dog leg, and man, that was a big hit right there for Joey Lamb, and another quick caution flag here at Phoenix Raceway as Lamb restarted in the 12th position, and just looks like he's going to make contact. Almost the same as what we saw with his teammate in the 5 ride. Caleb Ramsey hard up into that outside fence. All 4 tires up off the ground there for the 81 ride. He goes for a lot of loop-de-loops. Nowhere to go here for a bunch of other good drivers. Getting collected in this one is tons of contact. Everyone trying to avoid spun out car. You see the 21 ride of Derek Cat going for a ride there. The 25 ride going around. Dale Miller in the 8 machine going for a spin there. Lots of damage, lots of carnage down through the tri-oval as you see Martino there getting a big piece there. Dale Miller as well down on the bottom side. Some more damage for both of those drivers as we'll jump right on board here with the number 81 and see what happens here too. Joey Lamb on this restart is he gets a good jump. He's right there with the 61. Just contact down to his inside as he's making the corner here, and unfortunately just not clear. And and that's a tough hit right there. That's a tough break for this number 81 ride. Tons of damage, tons of contact, and more carnage for a lot of the other drivers there behind him as they all get collected in this one. As there's that contact, there's the 81 hard up into the fence, and so many other drivers getting collected there. As we can take another look at it, play it back here again, take another look at the initial contact between the 81 and the 2 ride. So currently running in the 12th and 13th position there on the racetrack, and just unfortunate contact again. It spins the front end of the 2 ride down the racetrack. The 81 gets out of shape, washes hard up into that outside fence, and nowhere to go. The Pennzoil 22 ride getting a big piece of that 2 machine. The 94 and the 11 coming together there, making contact with the 81. Then 25 and the 21 coming together. The 25 and the 8 coming together, and a lot of drivers getting tore up right here. There's Bradley King, nowhere to go. Scott Bellum, heavy contact there for him. Fred Anderson, tons of damage there for Fred as well on this contact as he gets pretty collected in this one. Tons of damage there for the 94 ride as well, as you get a good look at this one from a little farther back. Sees it happening, trying to get out of the way. Oh, the 11 rider, Bradley King, getting up through the gears here, coming from behind him. Just came in there with a big head of steam, and I think everyone else trying to check up, and comes in and helps initiate that contact right there with the spinning 81 ride and the 94. Heavy damage there for the 11 ride. We're going to be down a lot of cars here, and we haven't even ran a full green flag lap yet, ladies and gentlemen. So this is going to be a wild evening at Phoenix Raceway as we'll get them ready to roll here once again. Jackson Glenn Austin going to get ready for another restart with Brock Page there in second, Christian Angel in third. Hunter Kent, Jeremy Paris, our top 5. Daryl Young Jr., Clay Cantrell, Mike Peters, Frank Peachock, Steve Tucker, our top 10 here on the evening. So we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to battle as already we see a good handful of drivers down pit road and having extensive work done trying to get back out onto the speedway here. Unfortunately, a lot of them going to be down for extended periods of time as Jackson Glenn Austin going to get ready for a big restart here once again. Gets the jump that he needed down through that Geico restart zone. The 60 ride of Christian Angel trying to work himself back to the front of the field here. Starting on the pole, gave up a couple spots on the first 2 starts of the evening, and trying to bounce back, looking underneath that 36 of Brock Page. So far, looks like everything is good, but no, caution flag will come back out here. The caution flag will fly once again. We still haven't turned an official green flag lap here on the evening as looks like Kerry Klein and Dale Miller possibly going to have issues here as the 44 ride. Kerry Klein looks like going to have some contact, going to have some help here. 32 ride right there, just looks like they just run over each other, both trying to run in the same line at the same time, and unfortunately for the Black Copper 44, that contact going to get him sideways, spinning on the speedway, and going to spin him around and up into the fence, and then you see the 8 ride. Oh, upside down goes the 44 as well. Tough break right there as Dale Miller slides in there and makes heavy contact there with that number 44, and Miller puts that 44 upside down on the speedway as he's just trying to send it in on the high side, hoping to be clear. He was looking to try to get down low of that 44, but the 75 kind of came up right there. I think might have scared this 8 ride into what he was going to be able to do. He does end up having to wash up the racetrack to avoid the 75. Unfortunately, slides right into this 44, and it's just going to kick this 44 ride right on over and upside down, and that is a tough break for Gary Klein, and another tough break for the 8 ride of Dale Miller as well, as he's been collected in a few of these wrecks as we'll get him ready to roll here and try this one all over again for about the, I don't even know what that is, 4th caution flag, 5th caution flag, something like that is BMRL says, wow. Yeah, wow is correct. Wow is correct. So far, some pretty crazy driving, pretty aggressive racing here. For the opening laps of this race, we're already, 17 plus laps in here, and we haven't even ran a full green flag lap yet. They've been able to make it into about, our leaders have been able to make it into, out of corner number 2. That's about as far as they went before the caution flag, so we'll have to wait and see if they can get an official green flag lap in here before long, as I'm sure Jackson Glenn Austin likes leading all these laps and keep hitting these restarts, but I'm sure everyone else inside the field is hoping for some clean racing, hoping to try to work themselves up through the field and see if they can try to put themselves into a better position here on the evening, as they haven't really had too many opportunities to make moves, to make passes, and drivers that may not have a good short run speed but have better long run speed may be really feeling the hurt right now as they continue to slide backwards and not getting the chance to move forwards with longer runs on the evening, as we'll get them ready to roll here once again. We look back through the field and drivers still coming in and coming out of the pits. You see Dale Miller back out there. Still got some damage there on the 8 ride. Todd Merkel just didn't get into a couple incidences out there on the speedway. The 37 rides had some damage. The 75 also been collected, had some damage. The 21 of Derek Katz been collected, and one of those wrecks had some good front end damage as well. Scott Bellum out there, he's been collected a couple times. The 99, still tons of damage down in the 27th position, still rolling on the speedway. Gary Klein looking to come back out onto the racetrack after going upside down as Fred Anderson still down pit side. Tons of damage there on the 1 Inc. number 94 ride as he's down pit side. Kenny Reel back out there onto the racetrack as the MTV Catfish number 23 looking to try to salvage a good day here as Bradley King finds himself down pit side. Joey Lamb, Kevin Haas, Caleb Ramsey all took their cars back behind pit wall as we will get ready to go back to green flag racing. Those look like possibly single file restarts here, so the admins making the decision, going to those single file restarts, trying to clean things up, trying to make things a little bit easier in the 19 of Jackson Glenn Austin. And a good restart, looking to try to hold off Brock Page. And that 60 ride of Christian Angel, our pole sitter, back in position number 3 as green flag in the air. Everyone nice and easy down through corner 1 and 2. We do see one driver looking to head down pit side. That's Curtis Miller in the 70 ride coming down pit road. Is down across the line. Our first official green flag lap being led there from Jackson Glenn Austin as he's out in front leading the way still here in this one, as we did see Curtis Miller head down pit side here. I'm not sure what may have went wrong for the Rumpel Furniture number 70 ride as he is down pit road looking to get some work done to his 70 machine. As out in front, Jackson Glenn Austin looking to open up a little bit of a lead here as Christian Angel trying to hunt him down. Now up into second here as Brock Page slides back to third and trying to hold on to that third spot as here comes Hunter Kent. Kent down to the inside as Joycelyn says, hey boss, how goes the racing? The racing goes wonderful, Joycelyn. Good to see you up in the chat showing the love here in this one. How's your day going? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day as well. I do apologize again, ladies and gentlemen. Not our best voice. Your boy's been dealing with a cold or some sort of sickness the last couple days, and I'm hoping that we can get over it here before, you know, the end of the weekend or soon. It's been driving me crazy. It's not been fun. I hate being sick. I hate having a man cold. It's awful. As we do see the caution flag coming back out after our first couple green flag laps here on the evening. It looks like Scott McKinney possibly running into some issues in the 33 ride. Already some pretty heavy damage here on him, and oh, that car just snaps around down through corner 3 and 4, and fortunately nowhere to go for the 44 ride. As a lot of damaged cars early in this race, and unfortunately it looks like something's going to break here in that 33 ride. Watching slow motion, this car just a little loose, but then just all of a sudden snaps completely sideways. Nowhere to go for that 44 ride. We'll give him a shot there, help him go around a little quicker, but tough break there for that 33, and a tough break for the rest of the field, as that means another caution flag and another opportunity here for big restart mover. Some drivers trying to work themselves up to the front of the field as we look through them. See some drivers that started deep in the pack here, like the 91 ride. We did see this WBD to diecast number 91 of Wesley Donaldson. Got some contact and a little bit of damage early in this race, but he's still been able to work himself up 17 positions. Started back in 30th, now finds himself there in 13th. AJ Cruz right there with him. Started back in 25th, now up into 14th here. He's up 11 spots on the speedway. Some big movers there is Derek Cat up 14, actually up 15 spots from where he started as he rolls in the 18th position. Mike Martino back there, he's up 12 spots in 19th. Hunter Cole saw some damage on that ride. He's down pit side, the 33 down there as well. Drivers getting more and more work done to their cars, trying to work themselves possibly back into racing condition. We do see Fonseca also off the speedway here, so I'm not sure what happened to the 61 ride as Keith Fonseca has also left the building here. We did see him enter the pits, but Interesting. Not sure what might have happened here to Keith Fonseca's. Let's come down pit side and just takes that car off the speedway. So a tough break there for Keith Fonseca and for 61 crew, as they're going to have to be scratching their heads wondering what happened there to the 61 machine, as we'll get them ready to roll here once again. These drivers will get lined up and ready to rock and roll. We'll get ready for another wild restart, as my boy Caleb Ramsey says, I have no words. I'm legit blown away. That happened all in 3 laps. Yeah, unfortunately, Caleb, unfortunately, brother. All that happened in 3 laps. Yeah, unfortunately, tough break for a pair of the Mud Duck Racing rides, as Caleb Ramsey, Joey Lamb, both with heavy damage. You can see AJ Cruz, I do believe. I don't see AJ Cruz on the racetrack anymore either, so it looks like AJ Cruz is exited the 57 ride as well. I'm not sure what might have happened there to Mr. Cruz, but like another driver off the speedway, so more clean racetrack for drivers, but man, unfortunate break there for Caleb, unfortunate break for the Mud Duck Racing crew, and Caleb coming in with the exclamation mark followage, 908 days of being a follower here on Peacemaker Gaming. Absolutely insane, my dude, absolutely insane. As we get ready to go back to green flag racing, out in front, it's Jackson Glenn Austin. Jackson sees the green flag fly, another good restart. Here comes a big run from Hunter Gent. Is Gent down to the inside of the 60 ride of Christian Angel. Angel we have to try to roll this middle lane. Here is the 54 looking to try to jump up and steal position number 2 away from that 60 ride. Is now in front. A great restart leading to a couple car length lead here early on in this run for Jackson Glenn Austin. As Jackson leads him down across the line here. Another green flag lap for that 19 ride, as here comes the 60 with a big run. They're off corner number 4. He tracked down and closed that gap quite a bit on the 19 machine. So we'll have to wait and see who's going to have the best car here on a longer run. We've only seen short runs here. You know, sometimes not even making it through corner 1 and 2, but you can already see the 60 ride showing some good pace as he's working to the inside of this 19 ride. Looking to see if he can maybe try to take this race lead back away from Jackson Glenn Austin, and it looks like they're going to go door to door down into corner number 1. So good hard racing here at the front of the field as Brock Page trying to hang on to the 5th position, as Jeremy Paris is going to roll around him. Now the 71 at Darrell Young Jr. going to reel up to his back bumper. Here comes Clay Cantrell and Mike Peters. They're in 7th and 8th on the speedway. Steve Tucker up into 9th, and here comes that 91 of Wesley Donaldson. Donaldson up already 20 spots on the speedway as he's worked himself now into the top 10, as he's got Frank Peacock and Justin Hurst right here behind him. Joshua Yarborough back in 13th with Lucas Longmire. They're in 14th. Chris Mayo in that number 30 ride. He rolls in position number 15 on the speedway. A beautiful Jurassic Park number 30 ride. Very pink and baby blue. It's definitely a car that stands out on the speedway there for Chris Mayo, as Nate Defiant in the 62 working down to his inside. We just saw the 23 ride there go around those drivers. Fortunately for the 23, I do believe he is a lap or multiple laps down there for Kenny Reel, as the MTV Catfish ride unfortunately got tied up early in this race. And you see Derek Cap back there, Todd Merkel back there as well. Scott McKinney back there in the 19th position. Hunter Cole in 20th. Curtis Miller in 21st. Dale Miller back out there. He's in 22nd. And then our first car a lap down, I do believe, is this number 99 of Sean Wilder, even with the heavy front end damage here. Still looking to see if he can stay in that lucky dog position, maybe work himself into a free pass here on the evening. Mike Martino also there on the same lap as that 99 ride. Then Gary Klein, AJ Cruz back out there on the speedway. Good to see AJ back out there. So the Mud Duck Racing ride continues to keep on rolling. Unfortunately, looked like he might have lost connection or something there, and unfortunately he's now couple laps down, so a tough break for AJ Cruz as Kenny Reel out there in the 27th position. Keith Fonseca, Scott Bellum, Fred Anderson, Fred Anderson still on the racetrack, but Keith Fonseca, Scott Bellum off the speedway, Bradley King off the racetrack, same with Joey Lamb, Kevin Haas, and Caleb Ramsey all left the building already, so we're a good handful of drivers are better down as out in front. The 19 rider Jackson Glenn Austin continues to lead the way, but he's getting hounded by that 60 ride of Christian Angel, as Angel looking to try to take this race lead away from the 19 ride. Christian started on that pole position, but on the opening start, the 19 took him 3 wide down through the dog leg, was able to go from third to first down into corner number 1 before that first caution flag, and he took over the race lead from that point on. The 60 ride only held it for about a straightaway before this 19 took that top spot away from him, and then he's been trying to hang on here on some of these restarts, trying to keep himself out of trouble, trying to deal with Hunter Kent and Brock Page on some of these restarts, and now he's been all over the back bumper of this 19 ride the last 5 or 6 laps, and he's been putting the pressure on Jackson Glenn Austin here for quite a few laps, as we're going to jump into a quick PeaceMaker Gaming Crank It Up. As we're going to crank it up here on PeaceMaker Gaming, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you know what to do. Crank up that volume, cheer on your favorite driver as we crank it up. Glenn Austin continues to lead the way, continues to show these drivers how to get it done here at Phoenix Raceway. The 19 ride out in front, leading the way as Hunter Kent up into position number 2 here. So the 54 ride up into second as Brock Page there in third. See Jeremy Paris in fourth with Daryl Young Jr. our top 5. But here comes Wesley Donaldson. Wesley Donaldson all the way from 30th now into the top 5 here. So a heck of a run in the first half of this race for the 91 ride as he goes up 25 positions from where he started early in this race. He's up 25 spots now inside the top 5. Could be a car that these drivers will have to deal with throughout the rest of the evening. We did see green flag pit stop coming as well. So we did see a green flag pit stop from the number 60 ride. We'll see where he stands on the speedway as we saw the 60 come down pit road, make that pit stop, but we do see him back down pit side again. So numerous stops down pit lane now for Christian Angel. I'm not sure what went wrong here with that 60 ride, but it's multiple trips now down pit side here for Christian Angel in this one extended period of time here. So a tough break for that 60 ride as he's having a great day. He was all over the back bumper of our race leader for multiple laps. Then all of a sudden that car just really fell off. He lost a couple spots there during the crank it up, fell back to about the 5th position before heading down pit side. Went down pit road, got that car set of tires and fixed back up and came back out onto the speedway. Looked to still be up to speed and then came back down pit road again. So I'm not sure if maybe the engine expiring or something going wrong with that 60 ride. Definitely not the way you want to see things go if you are Christian Angel out there on the racetrack. Is Curtis Miller now the first car 1 lap down on the speedway here as the 70 ride gets put a lap down from our race leader Jackson Glenn Austin, and with the 99 ride another lap down. So a tough break there for Sean Wilder. It's always a lot tougher trying to gain multiple laps back, but trying to gain 1 lap back is usually a challenge on its own, but it's usually a little bit easier. You can get 1 single wave around or something, you can work yourself back onto the lead lap, but going down multiple laps really puts you behind the ball. Derek Catt also down a lap back there in that 21 ride. He rolls in the 19th position. Scott McKinney in the 33 ride. He rounds out our top 20 on the speedway with Sean Wilder there in 21st. Hunter Gold, a 37 ride back in 22nd. Kerry Klein right there with him. That's in 23rd. AJ Cruz still rolling out there on the racetrack as the Cruz missile looking good here this evening. Unfortunately, it looked like he lost internet connection or something there for a couple minutes, and he went from inside the top 15 to back outside the top 20 and multiple laps down there in a quick hurry during our last caution break. So I'm not sure what may have happened there. Both 57 right, but now back in the 24th spot, battling a very tough uphill slope, trying to salvage a good day here is Kenny Reel out there on the speedway, rolling in 25th. Christian Angel still down pit side. Mark Martino off the speedway. Fred Anderson still rolling out there on the speedway as Keith Fonseca, Scott Bellum, Bradley King all off the track. Same with Joey Lamb, Ken Ross, and Caleb Ramsey. So lost about 8 cars already in this race who've taken their cars down behind pit walls. So this field is really spread out. It's really kind of thinned out here after a bunch of quick caution flags really messed things up for a lot of drivers as Brantley says 60 broke, toe length, broke at toe length. Oh, that's no good. Maybe the contact. We did see him early in the race pancake the outside fence off of corner number 2, and maybe it finally let go, and toe length break in there for the 60 ride. Definitely not a good break for the 60 machine. Sitting on the pole, quickest there in qualifying, looked very strong. The crew still going to work trying to get him back out there to salvage maybe a couple points on the evening, but not the way he wanted his day to go. Possibly a winning car down pit lane during green flag laps is something you never want to see. Jackson Glenn Austin leads the way here as Austin out in front. Red Austin out in front as Brock Page up into position number 2, the Castrol GTX. Number 36 ride, the 46 Racing Machine up into position number 2. Hunter Kent back to 3rd there in the 54 ride. So 54 machine there in 3rd. Jeremy Paris having a great run. The 50 ride, the plain basic ride, no sponsors or anything on that Chevy Camaro. So the ZL1 sporting a no sponsorship car, and he's looking fast out there on the speedway. He can earn himself a couple sponsorships here this evening. The run that he's having, a good solid top 5 run so far. Wesley Donaldson trying to hunt him down. This WBD diecast number 91 ride there in the 5th position. We talked about him already going from 30th to 5th here in this first half of the race as the laps are clicking down in a quick hurry, and just rolled over halfway in and halfway to go here on the evening. So this race is coming to a close in a quick hurry, and if we can see a lot of green flag laps, this race could be over before we know it. But if we see those caution flags come out again late in the race, as late race caution flags are always somewhat of the trend, and it can really mix things up, especially throughout the top 10, top 15 on the speedways. All these drivers are very fast. We see Darrell Young Jr. back in 6th, Clay Cantrell there in 7th. Lucas Longmire having a great run as the 32 ride has worked himself now into the 8th position. So Longmire with a good long run car here, having a good race so far. It's Joshua Yarborough looking to the outside here of Steve Tucker. Tucker trying to hold on to position number 9. Him and Yarborough battling door to door here for that 9th position as both drivers inside the top 10. Just outside the top 10, you see Frank Peacock there in 11th with Todd Merkel there in position number 12. Justin Hurst in 13th. Nate Defiant there in 14th. Chris Mayo rounding out our top 15 here, as fortunately for Mayo, I do believe he is the first car 1 lap down now on the speedway. He's going to be hoping for a quick caution flag, as he's currently sitting in that lucky dog position as our race leader tries to hunt down his next victim, our 14th place driver, the 62 ride of Nate Defiant, not too far in front of him here as he's looking to try to hunt down that number 62 ride. Just a little farther in front of our race leader here, as Nate Defiant will try to hold him off, try to keep himself onto the lead lap here. He's still got a couple cars in between himself and our race leader, so I'll be able to try to hang on to that 14th spot and the lead lap here for a little bit longer. Dale Miller down a lap as well. Miller finds himself there in position number 15 on the speedway. He has now worked himself around Chris Mayo, so that does put Dale Miller into that lucky dog position here, as Miller always seems to have a fast car. Unfortunately got tied up in a few early incidences and put deep in the field, unfortunately down a lap, and still got a very fast car. He's keeping pace right now with our 4th place driver, Jeremy Paris, right there in front of him, as he's trying to stick right there with that 50 ride, trying to stay as close as he can to the front of the field here to maybe see if he can keep himself in this free pass position or not, as Chris Mayo falls back to 16th. Curtis Miller back in 17th. Derek Catt, Scott McKinney, and Sean Wilder are top 20 as Mike Peters in down pit side here. Mike Peters there in position 21 now on the speedway. Hunter Cole back in 22nd. Kerry Klein in 23rd. AJ Cruz rolling in 24th with Kenny Reel out there in the 25th position. Fred Anderson down pit side here, still with that 94 ride back in 26, and looks like he's going to take his car down behind the wall and unfortunately off the speedway. Christian Angel there in 27th. Mike Martino, Keith Fonseca, Scott Bellum, our top 30. Bradley King, Joey Lamb, Kevin Hawson, Caleb Ramsey bringing up the rear of the field here, as we've already had 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cars already in this race. Take their cars behind pit wall, so a lot of early action, a lot of early wrecks and carnage unfortunately taking out a good couple handfuls of drivers early in this race, and as the laps continue to progress, more and more drivers running into issues. But right now, one driver with no issues at the front of the field is the 19 ride, Jackson Glenn Austin. He was able to jump up, make him 3 wide on the initial green flag, started in the 3rd position, took him 3 wide for the race lead down through the dog leg. He came out with the race lead on the first lap down through quarter 1. And at quarter number 2, he saw the caution flag fly, and ever since then, he's been locked in as our race leader. The only driver to really show him any kind of pace or show any kind of bumper to his back bumper was that number 60 ride of Christian Angel, who's down pit side and unfortunately off the speedway here. So maybe a good break for Jackson Glenn Austin. Very tough break for the 60 ride as Brock Page 4 seconds back here in position number 2. So Jackson Glenn Austin with a big lead here, has 4 seconds between himself and our second place driver with Hunter Kent. Back in position number 3, he's about 5.5 seconds back of our race leader, Jeremy Paris, a little farther back there in position number 4. Wesley Donaldson there in the 5th spot as the 25 top position ride here. The 91 ride already at 25 spots on the racetrack here. He is our hard charger so far through this race, and we do see some green flag pit stops starting to get underway here. Here comes Joshua Yarborough. Lucas Longmire down pit side. Justin Hurst in the 22 ride also down pit road. Nate Defiant down pit side, as well as green flag pit stops underway here. More and more drivers coming down pit road. We did see Steve Tucker also come down pit side. Frank Peachock. Saw Mike Peters come down pit road as well. So we can see some more green flag runs. Could change the entire outcome of this race. You got to be very careful what you do down pit side. You can't be speeding. You can't make any mistakes, not only on the speedway, but also out on the pit lane as well. As you don't want that pit road speeding penalty. You see the 50 ride of Jeremy Paris down pit side. Clay Cantrell down pit road. Keep an eye out on our race leader, Jackson Glenn Austin, as he may try to stretch it a little bit more here, even though he may be giving up time to the fresher tires. He's got a little bit of a lead to work with here. Brock Page back 4 seconds. Now coming down pit side, Hunter Kent, Wesley Donaldson also down pit side as well. So much of our top 5 making their way down pit lane, and Jackson Glenn Austin going to stay out there, so we'll see if he comes down pit road in a quick hurry. It's Anthony Karf. Anthony coming in with the like in the share. How are you, Anthony? Coming in showing the love here in this one, as this 19 ride is not slowing down anytime soon. As he stays out for another lap here, he's going to continue to keep on rolling these laps, continue to try to keep these drivers back there at bay. And as this race continues to get closer and closer to the finish line, we may have some very fresh tires here late in this race compared to everybody else, where even if we see a late race caution flag, he may stay out a little longer. But there we go, he does come down pit road. He locks him up. Oh, that's going to be a close one right there. Was the 19 ride speeding into pit lane or not? We do see one driver having issues right there, and the caution flag will fly. So he was already down pit side here, so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make his pit stop complete or if he'll keep rolling on the speedway. Like he is possibly going to pull into his pit stall. So there you go, the 19 ride down pit side here. So our race leader still coming down pit lane. Here comes the 2 ride of Todd Merkel as well. May forfeit the race lead over to the 8 ride of Dale Miller, as not sure how this is all going to score out, but I do know that Jackson Glenn Austin was our race leader at the time of the caution flag, but he was down pit side. We will take a look at it as the rest of the field looking to try to maybe roll around the outside of this 19, but the 19 looking to try to keep all these drivers back there a lap down behind him, as he'll get rolling here onto the speedway. So this one all plays out, but we will take a look We did see the race leader right here trying to figure out a way to get underneath of the 62. He finally does find that gap, gets down low. 62 right here, unfortunately for Nate Defiant. It's very loose there, down low at the corner number 2. He's spinning sideways, bounces it off the inside wall, then some more sideways, gets stopped on the speedway there. Unfortunately, that's what brings out our caution flag as our race leader down the bottom right, rolling out on pit lane. So interesting how this one all gets scored. I'm not sure how many drivers will be able to get wave arounds and maybe back onto the lead lap or whatever else. We do see Dale Miller down pit side here. Miller gonna head down pit road. Alrighty, this is gonna mix things up. This is gonna make things very, very exciting late in this race with 35 laps left to go in this race. Next time by the start finish line. So, woo, this is gonna be interesting, chat. This will be interesting. Alrighty, as we'll see a lot of drivers get the wave around here. We'll be restarting with the 19 ride still as our race leader, but we'll have to wait and see how everything gets lined up for this restart. I do believe, I'm not sure if drivers are going to be stuck a lap down or on the lead lap. I do believe they will be on the lead lap with Jackson Glenn Austin. I'm not 100% sure on how the scoring will work out here. Is that one definitely going to mix the lineup up and definitely make things a little bit different here for a lot of these drivers, as some drivers unfortunately stuck a couple laps down. As Buttcrack Motorsports coming in showing the love over there on Twitch says, hey Ron, what's happening, brother? What's good, Buttcrack? How are you? Going in showing the love. I do apologize again, ladies and gentlemen. I am dealing with a cold. I do apologize about that. Nothing I can do, but we are going to continue to give you all of the racing action here on Peacemaker Gaming to the best of my ability. Hopefully we can kick this cold in a quick hurry. Alrighty, as I do believe lights are off the official iRacing pace car, so we should get one more lap around before we go back to green flag racing. I do believe with the wave arounds and everything else, our second place driver, Brock Page, we're restarting about the, I don't even know what position this may be. He's back in about the 15th spot here on this restart, as he's got a lot of lap cars in between himself and our race leader. Is going to take that wave around here to get back in with this lead group. Hunter Kent right there with him. Wesley Donaldson there as well. Jeremy Paris, Daryl Young Jr., Clay Cantrell, Todd Merkel there as well in the 8th position. I do believe Dale Miller will be the first car one lap down on the speedway. So Miller will be the first car one lap down as Jackson Glenn Austin leads the way here. Looks like we're going to get another wave around here, or at least we're going to get another lap with the pace car before we go back to green flag racing. So looks like we're going to try to stack everyone up. Ooh, some contact there under the caution flag, as contact right there. I'm not sure who that was or who got into who there, but a little contact. Alrighty, well, we'll wait and see if we do get the green flag this time by the start-finish line. Extended caution break right there, but you see this lead The pit strategy working out perfectly for the 19 ride. And so far, a picture perfect day for the Tracker Boats ATVs Bass Pro Shop number 19 of Jackson Glen Austin. As he leads the way, he's already got 5 seconds between himself and a lot of cars. Between himself and our second place driver, Brock Page. As the green flag quickly into the air, you see Brock Page right there, trying to work himself through some of the lap traffic here that he has to battle with. He makes some contact with the 22. Look out, he's almost going to go around. So is the 32 ride. We will see the caution flag fly. That's maybe what those drivers really wanted to see, was that caution flag to come out. Unfortunately, though, for Hunter Kent, he's going to get collected in this one. Lucas Longmire also in there as well, and quite a few drivers tore up here. As at the front, we saw the 36 rider, Brock Page, getting aggressive here. He's looking to try to catch our race leader in a quick hurry. Knows he's got to pass a lot of lap traffic. Unfortunately, washes up the track, makes contact with the Pennzoil 22 ride. Gets loose himself, but the 22 gets shoved up the racetrack. He gets hard into this 32 ride of Lucas Longmire. Longmire sideways here, sliding through corner 1 and 2 on the speedway. See Mike Peters rolling into it. The 54 ride right there, as well as more contact between the 22 and the 32. Sends the 32 up the speedway. Nowhere to go for the 54 ride. Heavy contact there for Hunter Kent as he gets a ton of damage, and not the way he wanted that restart to go, as 50 ride going to slide in there as well, give him a shot. A little bit of damage there for Jeremy Paris, so he'll be looking to try to get that car fixed up and that front bumper kind of back together and into one piece. But unfortunately for the 54 ride, some pretty significant contact there, as just kind of sat there and nowhere to go. Just kind of hang on, go for the ride, enjoy the ride here, as he's going to see the contact in front of him. The 36 ride trying to work himself up towards the front of the field, trying to work through some of the lap traffic. Unfortunately, it's a piece of that lap traffic and creates chaos for that 54 ride. Heavy contact, heavy damage there for Kent, as he's down pit road getting that car repaired. His cautions, precautions is out in front. The 19 ride of Jackson Glen Austin leads the way here. Brock Page back in second. Wesley Donaldson now in third, with Clay Cantrell there in fourth. Darrell Young Jr. in fifth. Got Merkel there in sixth. Jeremy Paris in eighth. Dale Miller now into ninth here after getting that wave around. He is back on the lead lap. We see Frank Peacock, Steve Tucker, Justin Hurst, Mike Peters, Joshua Yarborough, Lucas Longmire, Hunter Kent, our top 15, as Kent still down pit side, getting a lot of damage repaired there to the 54 ride. His day may be over, as Scott McKinney will take that extra spot as he rolls out there on the racetrack. So will Chris Mayo, as the 30 ride rolls in position 17. Curtis Miller there in 18th. Derek Catt in 19th. And Nate Defiant there in 20th. That's Sean Wilder and Hunter Cole both down pit side. AJ Cruz rolling in the 23rd position. Larry Klein in 24th. Kenny Reel rolling in position number 25 on the speedway here. As it looks like all of our lead lap drivers are going to get reeled into the back bumper of our race leaders. So let's at least punch these drivers, our lead lap cars, all together here to make it easier for them, make it a lot tougher for Jackson Glen Austin, as you'll have Brock Page, Wesley Donaldson right there on his back bumper. And the rest of our lead lap drivers is now Frank Peacock. He's scored as our current lucky dog recipient, so if he can get another caution flag, he might be able to get that lucky dog and back onto the lead lap here. So Frank Peacock looking for the wave around. Same with Steve Tucker, Justin Hurst, Mike Peters, Joshua Yarborough, Lucas Longmire, all looking to get that lucky dog and work themselves back onto the lead lap. Buckcrack says, I'm over here now. I'm messing with you, bro. Laugh out loud. Hey, listen, brother. It is what it is. Hey, I love it. I love you coming in, showing the love on all the channels. I'll see over there on Facebook, showing the love the like as well. Bionic Man coming in, show the love as well with the like on the stream as we are back to Green Flag Racing. Another good restart there for Jackson Glenn Austin as Austin out in front, continuing to lead the way. He's been the reflection of perfection all evening long as he shows them how to get it done here at Phoenix Raceway. Brock Page there in second with Wesley Donaldson, our hard charger. On the evening, the WBD Diecast Toyota started back in 40th, now finds himself in third up 27 positions. And he may not be done yet as Clay Cantrell rolls there in fourth, and Daryl Young Jr. up inside the top five. He gets heavy into corner number one though. Locks up that left front, slides up into the outside fence, opens up the door here for Jeremy Paris to roll around him, and Paris is going to jump all over that opportunity, trying to stay inside the top five. Don Merkel right there as well, and then we see the 8 rider Dale Miller. He's a little farther back here, and he was able to get that wave around back onto the lead lap, but he's got a lot of lap traffic to work through here before he can catch up to our top 7 on the speedway. Out in front, Jackson Glenn Austin trying to hold on and hold off the 36 of Brock Page. As Page in that Castrol GTX 36 Racing number 36 ride. Looking strong here in this one as he rolls there in position number 2. Now going to try to get another big run. Try maybe the outside, see if he can roll the outside lane around this 19 machine. You'll see the 91, Wesley Donaldson, right there, ready to strike. Donaldson there in third. Clay Cantrell sitting perfectly there in fourth as he's in position number 4 and looking for more and having a drive there in position number 5. It's Jeremy Paris. Rounding out our top 5 here in this race. Tom Merkel now up into 6 as Daryl Young Jr. slides back to 7. He's got a big gap, about 5 seconds back to our 8th place driver as the 8th place car. The number 8 on the speedway is Dale Miller. There in that 8th position on the speedway. Frank Peachock still holding on to that lucky dog position. He's in that wave around spot. If he can hold on and get a caution flag, he could put himself possibly back onto the lead lap, but he's got to deal and contend with this one ride of Steve Tucker as Tucker looking to try to put himself into that lucky dog spot, and he's going to clear the 12 machine. So move Steve Tucker up the 9th and in that opportunity for the wave around back onto the lead lap as Frank Peachock slides back to 10. Mike Peters there in position number 11. We got Justin Hurst right down the east inside. Joshua Yarborough, Lucas Longmire all right there ready to pounce as well. Chris Mayo back in 15th with Curtis Miller, Scott McKinney, Derek Catt, Nate Defiant, and Sean Wilder rounding out our top 20 here on the evening. It's out in front. Leading the way is Jackson Glenn Austin. He's been the reflection of perfection all evening long. But Wesley Donaldson looking to go from the outhouse to the penthouse here in this one. Started back in 30th, now up into position number 2. He's looking to put himself into the top spot here and into this race lead. He started all the way back in 30th, and man, what a run it's been for this 91 ride. He's right there, looking down the barrel, looking to try to clinch this win. He's trying to figure out a way to get around this 19 ride of Jackson Glenn Austin, and it's a good run down to the inside there through corner 1 and 2, but a good drive off for the 19 ride, able to keep himself in position number 1 as we see a battle back here for the 4th spot. Clay Cantrell trying to hang on to the 50 ride. Jeremy Paris trying to take it away here as Paris works down to the inside of the 88 ride for position number 4. They got a little bit of a gap back to our 6th place driver, the 2 ride there of Cotton Merkel. Then a little gap there. We see the 71, our 7th place driver of Daryl Young Jr. there in 7th, as we do see the caution flag fly. So the caution flag will be displayed once again here on the evening. We'll take a look back and see what happened. It looks like Curtis Miller in the 70 ride. He's going to get some contact there. Mike Peters gets a piece of him and fortunately uses him up down across the start-finish line, and then he goes around here through the dog leg at Phoenix Raceway, and that will bring our caution flag out as he gets stopped there on the speedway. As pretty good contact between these two at a corner number 4. Not sure if there was anything leading up to that. Just a big run here for the 95 ride. Somebody right there, unfortunately, just kind of running tight together, and Mike gets a piece of them. Heavy contact into the door. Inside 70 riding around, and all she wrote for another caution flag here in the MNT Cup Series is these drivers. Some of them coming down pit side, some of them staying out. So Brock Page down pit road, Jeremy Paris down pit side, Clay Cantrell also down pit road here, Daryl Young Jr., Don Merkel, Wesley Donaldson all down pit side here as Dale Miller going to stay out on the speedway. He's not coming down pit side, and either did our race leader of Jackson Glenn Austin. So 8 drivers, now 9 drivers on the lead lap as the wave around the free pass lucky dog position will go to the 1 ride of Steve Tucker. So Tucker will put himself there into position number 9, and he will bring up the rear of the field here on the restart, but back onto the lead lap for the 1 machine as Jackson Glenn Austin, our race leader, he'll be the first car on the speedway with some older equipment here. Him and Dale Miller right there behind him on this restart will be Daryl Young Jr., Wesley Donaldson, Blake Cantrell, Jeremy Paris, Don Merkel as Brock Page still down pit side here. So extended pit stop for the 36 ride. He's going to have to be careful or else he may end up being a lap down here. Luckily enough, looks like he is going to get rolling before our race leaders hit that start-finish line. So he'll stay on the lead lap, but we'll be restarting back in the 8th position as Steve Tucker, the Harpoon Designs Toyota, heads down pit side. He's looking to get some work done through that 1 machine, and he'll get rolling on the speedway once again. Back onto the lead lap, so good break there for him. And wait and see if we get more caution flags, if more drivers can work themselves back onto the lead lap as the 12 rider Frank Peachock, Justin Hurst, Joshua Yarborough, Lucas Longmire, Mike Peters. All drivers going to be looking for those free pass positions and trying to work themselves back onto the lead lap. Alrighty, as we will get ready to go back to green flag racing. Not sure what Hunter Kent is doing here at the front of the field. I'm sure iRacing just keeping him behind that official iRacing pace car, but they will either send him around or send him to the back of the pack here in a quick hurry. Yes, there you go. He's going to get that go around the pace car move, and Hunter Kent will get back around and join the rear of the field as our race leader, Jackson Glenn Austin, did not want to see that 54 ride right there with him, as we will get ready to go back to green flag racing here this evening as quite a few caution flags, quite a bit of contact, beating and banging, rubbing and scrubbing. Here we go, late in this race, Jackson Glenn Austin looking for another big restart. He's been the reflection of perfection here all evening long. Dale Miller back there in second, Daryl Young Jr., Wesley Donaldson, Clay Cantrell, our top 5 here on the restart as we get ready to go back to battle. Down through the Geico restart zone, the 19 ride with another good restart here. He gets a quick pounce over the rest of the field here as Dale Miller was not expecting that one. And here comes quickly some of the fresh tires as Miller up into the outside fence. He bounces it off it, able to keep that car pointed in the right direction, but quickly Wesley Donaldson right back into position number 2 here. He's going to fire it down underneath with Dale Miller. Miller up the racetrack here. Open up the door now for Daryl Young Jr., Clay Cantrell, all to make the moves around that number 8 ride. Here comes the 50 of Jeremy Paris. And Brock Page right there into that battle, as well as the 8 machine continues to slide backwards. So we do see the caution flag coming back in. The caution flag going to fly here once again. Looks like Grace Mayo, Sean Wilder, Joshua Yarborough all getting a piece of this one. see what happens here as some good drivers, some tough competitors getting collected here as we see the 30 ride already down the speedway. If there's any contact here. Handling with the 22 ride and down, oh, just looks like the transition going from the racetrack. Oh, heavy hit right there as he was off the track hard into the outside fence. Nowhere to go for the 77 ride of Joshua Yarborough as the 30 ride just parks himself right on his nose, and nowhere to go for Sean Wilder, getting a little contact into that one, as well as take another look at it, just the transition going from the speedway down through the dog leg here, right there. The car really gets unbalanced, it loosens up, and unfortunately just loses the rear end of the 30 ride. Now he's trying to correct it, unfortunately. The car straightens out. He's got that wheel turned to the right and sends it straight up the speedway and right into the lap here of that 77 ride. There's nowhere to go for him, nowhere to go for the 32. Longmire gets a little damage into that one, and the 99 of Wilder, who also gets a piece of that one as well. So tough break for both drivers. Let's see if we can take a look here from Yarborough's perspective here in the 77 ride. We'll jump onto the helmet cam and see what we can see here from the driver's helmet. Oh, nothing he could do, just out of the blue. That 30 ride up and over his nose in heavy contact. Nothing he can do here. Except for hang on and hope for the best, and unfortunately, not the way Yarborough wanted this one to go, and heavy damage for himself as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing. This will bring Steve Tucker back up to the front of the field here as well, back onto the lead lap. Same with Body Armor Super Drink number 12 ride. Body Armor Machine of Frank Peacock also going to get that wave around back onto the lead lap here for the 12 ride. So we will have 10 cars on the lead lap here this evening as Dale Miller went down pit side, got this 8 ride fixed back up. He's looking to try to pounce and get back towards the front of the field here, maybe with some fresh tires, as Jackson Glenn Austin has not came down pit side. He's only came down one time throughout this race, and so far no one's been able to really show him anything. No one's been able to make a pass on that number 19 ride, so we'll have to wait and see if he can hang on to it, keep that car at the front of the field. Clayton coming in, showing the love. Clayton coming in, dropping that thumbs up on the broadcast. How are you, Clayton? How are you doing this evening? Coming in, showing the love with the like on the stream as we'll get ready to get these drivers wound back up and back to green flag racing as caution laps have clicked down in a quick hurry. We see only 8 more laps left to go here this next time by. So right there, 8 laps to go on the board. The lights are off. The official iRacing pace car, meaning that we'll get this green flag back on lap number 7 as Kang Evo X coming in with that subscription over on the YouTube channel. Kang, welcome to the PeaceMaker family. Welcome to the PeaceMaker Crew, coming in and hitting that subscribe button there on the YouTube channel. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys do me a favor. It's absolutely free to do. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit that follow and subscribe button if you haven't already, as we're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing late here on the evening from Phoenix Raceway. Alrighty, is down through the Geico restart zone. Another good jump for the 19 ride. He's trying to work himself up through the gears. The 91 ride trying to cut the dog leg short here. Wesley Donaldson trying to figure out a way to jump up and knock the 19 of Jackson Glenn Austin off of this top spot. But here comes Darrell Young Jr., Clay Cantrell. Our top 4, the 50 ride of Jeremy Paris there in 5th. Brock Page having a good run there in 6th. As here comes Steve Tucker. Steve Tucker right there in the 7th position as Todd Merkel back there behind him. Dale Miller and Frank Peacock bringing up our top 10 here, our lead lap drivers on the speedway. Justin Hurst currently in that free pass position as out in front, Jackson Glenn Austin continuing to lead the way, but Wesley Donaldson right there with him, putting the pressure onto his back bumper. Donaldson, we saw down pit side not too long ago, got some fresh tires, some fresh equipment here for that 91 ride, and he's going to be trying to use all of the freshness here to put himself at the front of the field, but Jackson Glenn Austin has been picture perfect here all evening long. It's probably going to take a pretty good mistake out of this 90 ride. Give the 91 an opportunity, as we did see the 50 ride of Paris get up into the outside fence there, as he's battling right now with Brock Page, Clay Cantrell for our top three on the speedway. Steve Gunther right there trying to work himself up inside the top five as the battle for the lead. Down through the dog leg into corner number one. Door to door, Wesley Donaldson looking for the run he needs to maybe take this race lead away. The biggest challenge the 19 ride has had all evening long. But down out at quarter number two, he gets the run that he needed to keep that 91 ride at bay here for at least another lap. 91 gonna try to mount another challenge, another big run down through the dog leg here, cutting the track short. Gonna pull up door to door into that first corner. Gonna send it in deep. He washes up the racetrack. A little bit of contact. They're leaning on each other. 8 tires turn better than 4 in the 91 ride. Will take the race lead out of corner number 2. So for the first time here this evening, we have a new race leader, Wesley Donaldson, to the point here as he clicks off another lap. But here comes the 19 of Jackson Glenn Austin. He says, I am not done yet. You take that lead away, but I'm going to come right back at you, and I'm not going to let you get away with it. As down the back straightaway, door to door, oh, just barely clears him by the crossover. Out of the 91, into quarter number 3, nice and easy. Out of quarter number 4, they're going to go door to door, beating and banging as the white flag has been displayed. One more time around here for these two drivers, put on one heck of a show at the front of the field. Wesley Donaldson down low, the 19 of Jackson Glenn Austin up on the high side. Door to door out at corner number 2. They get pancaked up into the outside fence. The 91 and the 19, they make contact. There goes Brock Page. Page, sitting in the best position possible, is going to take this win as our race leaders come together down the back straightaway, and Brock Page will pick up the win here from third to first in the final 2 quarters of the evening, as Jackson Glenn Austin and Wesley Donaldson come together. Wowzers, did not see this one happening here. Definitely saw these two racing tight, beating and banging a little bit, but I did not see them going around. Unfortunately though, that's exactly what happens. Heavy contact down into quarter number 3. You see the 91 ride. He's trying to come up here. As they get into the fence out of corner number 2, that really kills a lot of their momentum. You'll see that 36 ride. He'll be able to close the gap quite a bit here. So he closes the gap, he gets a great run, and then down into quarter number 3, the 91's going to come up. He's going to try to make it tougher of an angle for the 19 ride into corner number 3. The 19's trying to cut down the racetrack to see if he can try to stay onto the door of the 91 ride. Unfortunately, they just meet in the middle here. One coming up, one coming down. They meet in the middle of that middle lane. As they come together, it spins them both up into the outside fence here in corner number 3 and down on the bottom side. Brock Page is able to just drive right around him and pick up the win here this evening, as Page is going to burn it down here at Phoenix Raceway. I'm sure he's pretty ecstatic about getting this win and putting himself up into victory lane as the Castrol GTX ride getting the dub here in this one. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you came here for a show. Well, there you go. Doesn't get much more exciting than that right there, as Brett Anderson says, exciting racing up front. Yes, sir, some very exciting racing and a crazy way to finish this race, says the beautiful Alan Kowicki throwback here, the Polish victory lap for the 36 ride of Brock Page as he rolls around the racetrack the opposite direction here. Good shout out there to Alan Kowicki and the Polish victory lap for Brock Page as he picks up the win. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here For our race winners, Page picks up the win, puts himself into victory lane as Laura Johnston coming in, hitting that subscribe button, becoming a brand new member of the PeaceMaker family. Welcome to the PeaceMaker family, Laura, coming in, smashing that sub button. We'll get ready to pull our top three up into the broadcast booth here for some post-race interviews. Hey, Brock, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. You got a copy?
Man, I was just talking about you. I thought I wasn't going to get interviewed.
No, sir, you are still going to get interviewed. Whether or not I'm sick or not, I'm going to make sure I still put on the best show and make sure that we get you guys up here. As always exciting, always fun to watch you guys battle out there on the racetrack. But take us back through this one. We saw a lot of cautions early in the race, a lot of back and forth, and then we see some mid-race green flag pit stops to get broken up with another caution flag, catching a lot of drivers behind the 8-ball there. We see you get tied up there, getting into some of that slower traffic, trying to work yourself back to our race leader, Jackson Glenn Austin, who was the reflection of perfection here all evening long, leading basically every lap except for only a couple there in those closing laps. And talking about Jackson Glenn Austin, him and Wesley Donaldson duking it out there in those closing laps. You jump up into third, and you're able to quickly reel them in, getting some big runs. You get right there to their back bumper down that back straightaway. Did you think there was going to be the contact? Did you think they were going to take each other out and open up the door for you to put yourself into victory lane?
I had a feeling they were going to crash, but I didn't know it was going to be that bad. And if I would have got the run off turn 2 like I was wanting, I would have probably been in the wreck. So I'm kind of glad I hit the wall on the way out. But it was crazy, man. Like, Jackson was really, really fast. Like, I passed a few cars and was trying to do what I did to pass them to gain ground on him, and we were staying pretty even. Like, I would gain in 1 and 2, but he would absolutely annihilate me in 3 and 4, it felt like, watching off the initial timer here, or intervals, sorry. It was fun, and I honestly, I didn't decide to do this race until like 4 minutes before. Unfortunately, this is my last one. I start a second shift job next week, so I guess this is the way you would like to go out, I guess. I mean, I wasn't going to win the championship anyways. I'm too far back in points, so yeah, it's been fun. I really, when I've gotten to race, last week was kind of rough, but when I've gotten to race, it's been really fun in here. And those green flag runs there were, it was fun. I was glad we got to go green there for a little bit.
Absolutely. Definitely some good green flag laps. Able to see you guys really kind of duke it out and spread out a little bit more here at Phoenix Raceway and tell all the craziness late in this race. And it sucks to hear that this might be your last race of the season. Obviously, taking that second shift and having to work until basically this is over. Hopefully, you can end up with some Fridays off and be able to come still show up here and there for the odd race, as we always like to see out there on the racetrack, Brock. But, man, as you said, no better way to finish things off with a dub here in the MNT Cup Series. So a good way to finish things off here for you if this is your final race of the season.
Unfortunately, it's probably going to be, I don't know, I think the 4th of July is Thursday, but I bet we're right back after that. So we'll just have to see how it works out. I mean, if I can catch one, I'll do my best. But yeah, man, it's tough.
Definitely.
I don't know if that came through my headset. I'm sorry.
It's all good. Definitely some tough sledding out there on the speedway, but you're able to be at the right place at the right time, take advantage of some contact in front of you, and you park yourself up in victory lane. Brock, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here this evening?
My beautiful girlfriend, for taking care of our baby while I get to come do this. He's 8 months old and cutting teeth, so right now is a little rough. So I want to give a shout out to her for allowing me to do this. But shout out to Hunter and Jeremy Paris and Hunter Kent. Those I just met them in this league, and they're we're already in the chat cutting up during the cautions and stuff. So it's always nice to come in and be able to make friends like that, easygoing people. Yeah, man, it was fun, and I learned stuff following them because I fell back to 5th on that first run. So I was just like, man, they're driving away from me, and then I found something, started pulling them back in. So I was like, okay, we found something here.
Absolutely. Well, you found enough to be able to put yourself into victory lane, Brock. Congratulations on the win. Congratulations on the great run here this evening, and hopefully we'll see you back out there either in this series or one of the other series, or some point in time see you back out there on the racetrack, because we always like to see you up here, in the streams and cheering these guys on, but also out there on the speedway running and racing in all these different leagues.
Yes, sir. I hope you get to feeling better, and I hope you got a good view of that drift I did down in turn 1.
I did get a good view of that. Yes, that is true. We
That
did get a
that,
good look.
that was a pucker moment there. Just pushed in the clutch and held on to it best I could.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Brock, congratulations again on the win, and hopefully you have yourself a wonderful rest of your night, and hopefully a good start to your weekend, and don't party too hard down there in Victory Lane.
I will try not to, man. Y'all have a good one.
You too. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for our race winner, Brock Page. As Page picks up the win, parks himself up in Victory Lane, as Brent Anderson says, Brock, good win. Always hang in there. Always hang in there. Never give up. You never know when, the seas will part and an opportunity to steal a win may present itself. And right there, Brock Page rolling in that third spot across the, the white flag, and down the back straightaway. Contact between our race leaders. They go around, opens up the door for him to jump into that race lead, and he picks up a win here at Phoenix Raceway as Jeremy Paris comes home in position number 2. See if we can get Jeremy up into the broadcast booth here for his post-race interview. Let's see if we can get him in here real quick. Don't see him anywhere in here, but we'll see if we can find him. Hey, Jeremy, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth to get a copy.
About that, I was muted. I was in the open chat. Yes, sir.
Jeremy, man, a great run, a strong performance for you here this evening. We saw you up inside the top 5 pretty much all day long, and late in this race, the same with Brock Page, able to just make some moves, put yourself into a good position, and able to park yourself up onto the podium in position number 2 has got to feel pretty dang good.
Yeah, I haven't ran the next gen car a ton. Hunter kind of invited me to the league here. Seems like a really good ran deal. The broadcast looks good, so we're gonna give it a whirl.
Absolutely, definitely worth it here for you today. And this one is a little bit of a crazy start. We saw a lot of caution flags, and even some late in this race, a bunch of caution flags, a lot of different pitch strategies. What's going through your mind? How do you stay focused out there on the racetrack, rolling out there for abundance of yellow flag laps?
Yeah, it's tough when you have all those yellows and you don't know when the last one's going to be, and you just have to take it how it is. We ran it a little hard, but I hadn't pushed the car a whole lot early in the race, but I just didn't have the speed for Brock and those guys. But nonetheless, we pulled off second when they got tiled up. So.
Absolutely, same with Brock. In the right place at the right time to gain a couple of late race positions and park yourself up on the podium. Congratulations on the second place run here tonight, Jeremy. Who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here at Phoenix Raceway?
Well, you look at this thing and I just got primer on it right now. So it's me and Hunter, and we're looking for some sponsors, and we can thank anybody for our podium. And in future races, if we can put them on the door.
Absolutely. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Anyone looking to sponsor one of these drivers out there on the racetrack, make sure you guys get a hold of Jeremy Paris, our second place finisher here this evening, and you might be able to get yourself some shout outs here. Looking very fast here in his first race. Only imagine getting better, more and more of these races throughout the future, and getting faster and faster as he learns more about these Cup cars and about the series, the drivers that he's racing with here on the each and every evening. But be interesting to see how many more trips we can find this 50 ride up in the top 3 without any sponsors. I don't think it'll be very long.
Yeah, I hope not. Appreciate the broadcast.
Absolutely, brother. Jeremy, congratulations on the second place run, and we look forward to seeing you up here in the broadcast booth more and more throughout the season.
Yeah, we hope so.
Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for our second place finisher, Jeremy Paris. Is Paris coming home there in position number 2. A great run and a great drive for that 50 machine. as we'll get ready to pull our third place finisher, Clay Cantrell. Clay coming home here in position number 3. Let's see if we can pull Clay up into the broadcast booth. This Derek Cap, my boy Derek says, nice job tonight, everyone. Yes, a wonderful race, a wonderful job here. Everyone that showed up, all the drivers that came in and stuck it out with us and continued racing even through some chaos at the start of this race. But nonetheless, a lot of fun, a lot of great racing, and we can't wait to see what the third place driver, the 88, Clay Cantrell, has to say about this evening.
Run up there
hey,
the
Clay,
whole time.
It's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. Take a copy.
Got you, man.
Clay, man, what a run, what a drive here for you this evening as you park the 88 ride up in the podium here. You end up in third position on the day. Take us back through this one, man. A lot of craziness to start this race and a lot of craziness to end it here. But as the dust settles, you're able to pull yourself up into position number 3, man. Take us back through this one and what's going through your mind here after being able to park this car up on the podium.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. These cars have a lot of grip, and thank God they're composite because it was a war. That was it was tough, man. It's just beating and banging, and you start in the middle of the corner for the restart zone, right? And it was just, I mean, it had everybody bunched up. Then you got the dog leg, so it was just all out war on the restarts. Didn't have good pace to start, but found a little something there at the end. Definitely in that middle groove and going into 1. And really, it was just maintaining track position. It's so hard to pass on the inside that once you got track position, it was pretty much just try to keep it. And luckily, we got up there, got some track position. I knew the 19 was fighting with that other car, and it was like, I mean, this could get a little ugly going into the corner, and it did. So I mean, we went from 5th to 3rd right there. I wish it wouldn't have went that way. I wish we could have ran clean right there at the finish. But yeah, it was really just maintaining track position. But overall, still a good night, and we had fun.
Well, that's the big thing, having some fun out there on the racetrack, enjoying your evening, no matter what the circumstances are, but definitely always makes it better when you can get a good finish on the day as well. Definitely makes it that much better here at the Speedway. Clay, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance as you park yourself up in position number 3?
Man, first off, just definitely want to thank you. Thank you for putting the broadcast on. We definitely want to thank Premier Setups for doing the setup for the race. The setup was fantastic, and just thank the rest of these guys that help out with it, and thanks to everybody that show up and allow us to do this on a Friday night.
Absolutely, brother. No better place to be than watching MNT here on PeaceMaker Gaming on a Friday evening as a good run, a good race for yourself, maybe some momentum being built here, and hopefully more and more trips for you up here into the broadcast booth.
I hope so. Those first 2 weeks were a little rough, and we kept the car clean. Glad to be here.
Absolutely, brother. Enjoy the rest of your evening and have yourself a wonderful weekend as well.
You too, man. Have a good 4th, and we'll see you the week after.
Absolutely. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for our third place finisher, Clay Cantrell, as Clay coming home here in position number 3. Now, as they said, have a good 4th of July. Obviously, this weekend here in Canada, we celebrate July 1st, which is Canada Day, July 1st. These guys, obviously, a lot of them being American, they race... 4th of July, which I do believe is Thursday, but I do believe they celebrate the 4th of July will be next weekend. So it's like opposite weekends from our long weekend here for July and their long weekend. And I do believe, as he said, yeah, we have a week off for everyone to celebrate. No one having to worry about having to take time away from family things or anything else, or drivers missing out on the possibility of having another week at the racetrack and having to use one of their races that they can give away kind of deal. You get a couple drop races here for the championship. So being able to kind of wave those by and let yourself kind of get a nice relaxing weekend, not have to worry about being here on iRacing or anything else, just opens it up for drivers to be able to enjoy their 4th of July a little bit more and everything else. But listen, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for coming in, showing the love here all evening long, sticking with me even though I'm sick as a dog. I wish I wasn't sick. I wish the voice was perfectly fine. I wish I didn't have chest pains and head pains and the whole 9 yards here and the sniffles throughout the race. Unfortunately, that's what we have to deal with, but hopefully we still put on a great show and a good race for each and every one of you to enjoy here on the evening. Unfortunately, that will call it for us for the evening. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys back here on Sunday as we go back to racing action with the Outcast Racing League. Sunday afternoon, and should be a lot of great fun racing Sunday evening here with the Outcast Racing League as they had, I'm not sure where they're headed to this weekend, as I'm sure they'll be putting on a good show with their NASCAR Cup Series as well. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out for now, baby. Peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen.